Hi, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, wow. Michael, are you here? You want up? Hey, guys, please welcome Michael Healy. So, I've never been on a panel before, so I thought I would assemble one randomly. Come on, yeah, it'll be great. Yeah, come on up. Who else? Do we have any BART employees here? Someone must be willing to out themselves. Yeah, please. Yeah. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you have to. So. Yeah, come on. Hello? That's okay. Oh, thank you. I think we have a MTC representative, Meg Vidikin, here. Yeah, come on up. Just to round it up. Oh, I forgot to. That's fine. Here. Oh, you got one? Oh,
I've got one. I've got one.
Okay, cool. And then we have one more, right? Okay, I don't know. We can just hand these to each other. Here, you want to sit? I'll just. Who brought this thing? You want to? It's really beautiful. That's all I got for that. So I thought we'd ask each other questions or chat about what we thought about the movie. Feel free to tell me if you thought it was terrible. Because I'll just start off with this. I'm really curious whether this movie's even watchable. Thanks, everyone.
I thought it was a remarkable film, Vincent. And at first I thought, am I going to get mesmerized by all these tunnels? It's almost like a space odyssey in a way, because as you're seeing those tunnels come at you, it's almost like you're out in outer space somewhere sometimes. And I was recalling Space Odyssey.
Wow.
And it reminded me a little of Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Some of those scenes, some of that
I called
footage.
Kubrick for help. And, yeah.
The remarkable thing also is that you were able to recover all those cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that.
Well, I didn't recover all of them. But
we noticed.
Yeah. I hope I don't get in trouble. Sorry, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jay Bolchek. I'm a retired station agent, train operator, worked at OCC,
Whoa.
and I ran the schedules before I retired.
If this happened on your watch, would you be pissed?
No. As long as you present the information clearly, the security is a legitimate concern, but nothing that you're showing is nothing that the public couldn't see.
That's
through
what I
diligent
thought.
observation.
Yeah.
So we have facilities that you can't see, and you're not going to see those.
The BART black sites.
Yeah.
That's where they do the interrogations.
Yeah. So there are some really important facilities.
Yeah,
And,
I bet.
But the experience was great because I was a train operator starting in '96.
Wow.
And I've done that trip multiple times. So you captured really well the challenge being a train operator is staying focused through that hypnotic experience. So I'm going to your movie twice a day. No, actually 4 times a day.
Wow.
I do it both ways, and so
It's almost
the
more
back and
beautiful
forth is
the other
pretty-
way, I
it's,
think.
It's hypnotic.
Yeah.
Are you still working? You're still
No, I'm retired.
You're retired.
Lovely.
I've just been doing consulting for the 50th
Meg, do
anniversary.
you want to introduce yourself too?
Well, go ahead.
Sure. I'm Meg Avedikian. I work at the Metropolitan Transportation Commission and ABAG. And I'm a public information officer. I do mostly digital communication, so if you interact with MTC online, it's probably me. Hello. I didn't know I was going to be on an impromptu panel, so.
Nor did I.
I have is Therese McMillan still there?
Who?
Therese McMillan. She's still at MTC?
She retired last year.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Okay, so what I thought we'd all do is you have three very interesting people and me here. And if you have any questions about the behind the scenes of what you just saw, or BART in general, or the MTC in particular, which I'm actually personally very curious
By
about.
the way, before you start, I did want to mention that I talked to somebody at BART today, and I told them I was coming to see the film. And there was a, oh? And I said, yeah, why? He said, well, security's probably going epileptic over that film. But if I talked about Powers, a GM whom I know, and I'm going to tell them what a great film it is. That's a very positive look at BART.
Yeah, no, I love BART. I hope they don't arrest me. Part of why the message is so positive is because I hope not to be arrested.
No, I think one of the things that's great about what you're doing is I think you're reminding people about how precarious BART coming into existence was. In '64, when they opened the test track, there was no certainty. The technology was created on the test track.
Yeah.
So between '64 and '72, they had to refine the technology to make it actually work. It was bumpy at the beginning. They worked through bugs through some very creative ways, including ice packs. But reminding people now, and something that you said in the film that I thought was really interesting was, now there's a generation of people who have grown up with BART. There's a generation that can understand what the value of BART is to the Bay Area. And I think it's an unrecognized constituency, and even I wasn't fully aware of it until I heard you say that in the film, that we need to draw on the collective experience of people who have grown up with BART, who know BART, and understand what its potential is.
Yeah. I think it's a two-edged sword, really, right? Because if you grow up with BART, you're accustomed to its normalcy. Like it's like easier in some ways to take it for granted than if you had lived through the time where BART hadn't existed and then it did. I think, like if I were alive in that era, I think I'd be struck by the wonder of it nonstop. It actually took me a long time to even like sort of be curious about BART as an infrastructure. Like it was like breathing air. I would just take BART all the time. So I think, if you like awaken people to the notion that this thing that's like omnipresent is actually, in a lot of respects, critically underfunded. That's why I was so heavy-handed with the political message in the movie.
Well, and the technology of BART is pretty forward-facing.
Yeah.
The early integrated computer system. I don't know if this is good or bad. I think it's good. But BART is still running on its original train control operating system. People have kept that system working. It's a maintainable, reversible engineering is possible to reconstruct components from the 60s and 70s.
Nice.
And it's working reliably and safely every single day.
Wow.
And the energy efficiency of BART is unparalleled compared to other
I will say
operations
they did
in the
start
world.
replacing that system, so more trains could run.
They are, and,
Yes. Just so everyone's clear.
But picture your iPhone lasting for 50 years.
I can't. I don't even have an iPhone. It's crazy. Okay, so I do want to offer the audience the opportunity to ask us random questions. Feel free to direct a question at any of us or any particular individual. Starting with Caroline.
Hi, what parts of BART are automated versus what parts are manually controlled by the operators? Like when the tracks switch and there were like the traffic lights and the announcements.
It's all automated. The only sections is the E-BART down out on the other side of eastern Contra Costa County, which is a different system. It's made to look a little like BART. It's kind of like a stepbrother of BART in a way. I don't know.
The movie ends with the transfer to the E-BART train, which is not.
It's a diesel
The
operated
E is
system.
not electric. It's diesel.
Yeah.
It's D-BART, really.
E-BART.
The operators pretty much just like they stop the train if something goes wrong then.
Yeah.
Well, but you're also constantly monitoring subsystems aboard the train. You're listening for sounds, you're observing for anomalies, you're looking for the presence or the absence of information. And it's weird that the tracks do talk to you and the train talks to you. I mean, I was proud to be an operator and I felt very tuned into my consist.
Love that.
By the way, something funny that he just mentioned a couple minutes ago about using ice. We have these mux boxes all over the system, and that's part of the control system. And when it gets very, very hot, it used to, this is some time ago, it get very, very hot particularly out in Contra Costa County, and they say, what are we going to do? Because the electronics are reacting to all this heat, and not favorably. So what did we do? We put ice packs on these. We put ice packs on these mux boxes, which are right on the side of the right-of-way. I mean, they're right off the side of the right-of-way.
Subsequently replaced with what we commonly call the parasol, which is basically a little umbrella that goes over the electronics and creates just a shade to keep the electronics cool.
This
and it
is
works.
space age stuff, guys.
Low tech, but it works.
Very high tech.
Ice packs and umbrellas.
Very high
On
tech.
such thin margins, all of this runs. Okay, Zane?
How'd you get the camera back?
So, I want to explain actually a little bit. The footage you see in this film is not what is suggested by the intro cut, where you see me attach that camera to an older model train. This was shot on a newer train, out of disgust when I looked at the footage implied by that run, because it just didn't come out well. So anyway, so the challenge of getting the camera back is that it's on the rear of the train. And BART, it has a left-right-handed parity issue. Like, you can't reach the left side of the train on every stop. So that one was the run where I got this footage was actually really tough. I had to wait till West Oakland, and I had about 30 seconds to yank the thing off the back of the train. And I snapped the mount, actually. The adhesive was a little too strong. It's supposed to be removable. It's tough to get the balance right. So on that run, I snapped the camera mount off and cut myself, but it was worth it. But I actually felt really bad after that, because there was like a piece of tape stuck to BART after that I couldn't quite get off. So it was someone's job somewhere on the line to remove that piece of adhesive. And if you're watching this right now, I'm very sorry. Like, I needed like another 15 seconds. I just didn't quite get there. God, yeah. Thanks. Okay, we got someone over here.
I'm curious, was all the sound recorded from that same camera, or were you?
No, I had other microphones. So there's like a microphone inside the cab with me, and then one also taped to the outside of the train. And then I kind of try to mix the two so you can hear a bit of both.
Are there any cameras or anything inside the operator's cab? Can you see what's going on way at the back of the train on the platform to make sure nobody's stuck in a door?
I don't think so.
Well, with the newer trains, there are some backward-looking cameras, but one of the interesting things about BART is every platform is in a straight line. So it really is one of the key functions of the train operator to do that look back and, really focus as you're closing doors. And it's, a very important part of what we do. And there have been unfortunate accidents on a few occasions, but we have a pretty good safety record based on that. As technology changes, I think there'll be more and more video supervision, but it's still the human eye that does most of the work now.
Who inspired you to make the film?
It's Cedar. They're in the credits. They're in the. Can you guys hear me?
I think it's on.
Cedar, whose last name I can't pronounce. Actually, can you stand? Thank you. Thank you. We were at last year's BART Basel, and at the time, I think I was telling Cedar that I had been attaching GoPros to bicycles, and then those bicycles into the bike carrier of Muni buses, and then is that Mac? Yeah. And then filming the routes that way, and then I thought, the footage is good, but it's not quite good enough because you can't tell that you're on a bus. It's like you're driving. So I thought, where could we get footage that is like recognizably sort of alien from what you would normally see? And, one thing led to another. I think Cedar encouraged me to conceive of this project as possible. And then Danielle encouraged me to turn what I was just going to be train footage. Do you guys ever watch cab ride footage on YouTube? Where it's just like 4 hours of some train going to the Swiss Alps. I thought that was originally what I was just going to do. I thought like that would be enough. But then Danielle thought it'd be funny if there was a movie premiere. And I agreed. I mean, also I think the other thing about cab ride footage is it's not really color graded or sort of built into a whole bit of media. I think when you watch them, you just kind of skip around randomly. There's not really a point to watching the whole thing end to end. And I wanted there to be more of a experience to it, I guess.
You did a great job of doing that.
Oh, thank you. I can't see who's talking, but yeah. Okay, how about Albert?
I have two related questions. How frequently do
By the way, this is Lyndon Johnson in the movie.
how frequently do the drivers fall asleep? And then also, how many times did you, Vincent, fall asleep editing this?
Never and never, I'm sure, right?
I will begrudgingly admit to one occasion
Oh my God.
going through the Transbay tube, but it was that moment of literally of awakening where I realized how important it was, and so once I had that one close call,
Wow.
I thought, wow, the importance hit me.
I might have fallen
And,
asleep once too.
So
You know what's crazy? Actually, I've never seen this movie before. Like, I've actually never sat down and watched the whole thing back to front. Because it takes too much time. It's like an hour and a half. Okay, we got one more and then we gotta get out of here. So whoever's furthest back in the theater, it's you. I don't know. You guys rank yourselves. Who's furthest back? Okay, you, go.
So the four people on stage, what is your favorite station on all the parts?
I'm a brutalist architecture girly, so I really love Glen Park.
I love the lines of MacArthur. MacArthur and Glen and Rockridge. I think that they're clean and modern.
Well, Rockridge is Jones and mine station, basically, our closest station. But I like MacArthur because all the trains come through there one time or another. So there's always something happening there. And anyway, that's my favorite.
I'm gonna say SFO, if only because the movie is only possible because of the unique layout and timing of SFO. I need like at least a full minute of the train stopped, and I need enough headroom in the platform to reach over and attach the camera. And this is perhaps only possible, without authorization at SFO. So I actually just really like the airport also. All right. Thanks, everyone. Really great to see everyone here. So there is an after party. I don't know logistically if it will work, but I was gonna walk to Dalva after this. But it really kind of depends on how many people want to drink. So I don't know. I'll be on the sidewalk. I have a couple posters I can hand out too. We'll see you there. All right. Thanks everyone. Thanks Michael.
Thank you, Vincent.
Buy Michael's book about BART. It's great.
Yeah, BART, the Dramatic History.